Dingyuan was an ironclad battleship and the flagship of the Chinese Beiyang Fleet. Her sister ship was Zhenyuan. Background: as part of his drive to create a modern navy, Viceroy Li Hongzhang turned to shipbuilders in Great Britain and Germany for the latest technology. After extensive negotiations, a contract valued at 1.7 million taels of silver was signed with the German Vulcan shipyards in Stettin to build an enlarged version of their Saxon-class armored frigates, which in terms of displacement, armor and armament would raise the Beiyang Fleet to an equal status with the fleets of the European powers stationed in the Far East. The keel was laid on the 31st of March 1881, and the ship launched on the 28th of December 1881, under the supervision of the King Envoy to Germany, Zhu Jingcheng. Sea trials began on the 2nd of May 1883. Design: Dingyuan was an armored turret ship design, with a length of 94.5 meters, width of 18.4 meters and draft of 5.94 meters. She was protected by an armored belt 30 centimeters thick, which was considered to be able to resist any naval artillery available at the time. Dingyuan was powered by a coal-fired reciprocating steam engine, with 4 cylindrical boilers, and with a rating of 6,000 horsepower, which gave a speed of 14.5 nautical miles per hour, and a range of around 4,500 nautical miles at 10 knots. Her main armament was 4 305mm Krupp guns paired in 2 barbets. These barbets were mounted asymmetrically, or en echelon, forward of amidships. The starboard barbette was mounted further forward than the port barbette. The en echelon arrangement was intended to allow all 4 main guns to fire dead ahead, dead astern, or together on a limited broadside arc. Although in practice there were potential risks of blast damage to decks and amp superstructure when firing the main battery in this manner, the main guns had a range of 7.8 kilometers, firing with a muzzle velocity of 500 meters per second. Another 2 150mm Krupp guns were installed in turrets at the extreme bow and stern. These guns had a range of 11.0 kilometers. The armament also included 6 37mm guns and 3 above-the-waterline torpedo tubes. 2 torpedo boats were also carried on board, enlarging Dingyuan's striking distance and battle effectiveness. The complement was around 363 officers and ratings. To meet the demands on ship, 20 desalinators were installed which could serve 300 people fresh water daily. Service record: the delivery of Dingyuan, sailed by a German crew, scheduled for 1884, but was stopped following a request from the French, who were in the middle of a conflict with China which culminated with the Sino-French War. Dingyuan was a very powerful ship and would have drastically altered the balance of power in China's favor had it and her sister ship been available at the time of the conflict. After peace was concluded on the 3rd of July 1885, and Dingyuan, Zhenyuan and the cruiser Zhenyuan finally received permission to transit the Suez Canal under a German merchant flag and arrived in Tianjin in China on the 29th of October 1885. Dingyuan was based in Lushankou, the chief naval station of the Beiyang Fleet. In 1886, she participated in show force touring Hong Kong, the Japanese port of Nagasaki, Korean ports of Busan and Wonsan, and the Russian naval base of Vladivostok, together with Zhenyuan and 4 cruisers. While in Nagasaki on the 13th of August 1886, a number of drunken sailors from Zhenyuan became involved in a brawl in a local brothel, during which a Japanese police officer was fatally stabbed. Attributing the issue to lax discipline, King Admiral Ding Rushang suspended shore leave for a day, but allowed 450 sailors to go ashore on the 15th of August. Contrary to an agreement with local authorities, many were armed. Anticipating trouble due to increasing anti-Chinese sentiment by the local population, the Japanese police deployed additional men, but were unable to prevent a riot from erupting between stone-throwing locals and the men from Zhenyuan. In what came to be called the Nagasaki incident, 6 sailors were killed and 45 wounded, along with 5 Japanese policemen killed and 16 wounded. In handling the diplomatic incident, the British military advisor to the King military, Captain William M. Lang, took a hard line against Japanese authorities, refusing to make any apologies or reparations, and reminding the Japanese of the overwhelming firepower of his fleet and threatening war. However, the incident was resolved through diplomatic efforts. Dingyuan served as Admiral Ding Rushang's flagship from the start of the First Sino-Japanese War. At the Battle of the Yalu River on 17 September 1894, refused orders from Admiral Ding which would have exposed the ship to fire from the Japanese squadron, and opened fire from an extreme range. Due to a design defect, Dingyuan was unable to fire its main battery directly forward without destroying its flying bridge, a fact that the captain was well aware of. Admiral Ding and most of his staff were incapacitated by this incident. Japanese fire also damaged Dingyuan's ability to signal other ships in the fleet. Although Dingyuan was more powerful than any ship in the Japanese fleet at the time, ammunition for her main guns was in short supply, of the wrong size, or defective due to years of internal corruption, lack of funding, and incompetence. At the end of the battle, Dingyuan was able to escape to Lushunkou. She was then ordered to Viewei when Lushunkou was threatened during the Battle of Lushunkou. In early 1895, the remnants of the Beiyang Fleet was based at Liugong Island within Viewei. During the Battle of Viewei, the Imperial Japanese Army seized the landward fortifications of the naval base. The Japanese Navy attacked from seaward. On 5 February 1895, Dingyuan was seriously damaged after being hit by a Japanese torpedo and later cannon fire. Captain Liu Buchan ordered the ship scuttled before committing suicide on the surrender of the Beiyang Fleet by Admiral Ding Rushang. Reconstruction. To commemorate this period of history, the Viewei Port Bureau and local Weigao Group invested 50 million yuan to construct a replica Dingyuan. The replica's construction began on a scale of 1:1 on 20 December 2003. The duplicate Dingyuan is now a floating museum. Aboard her, records of Dingyuan, the Beiyang Fleet, the First Sino-Japanese War, and life at sea exhibits.